G'day, everybody, and welcome to Wind Against Tide, episode 123. We're back after a little bit of a delay. There's been a heat going on. I'm joined in studio with Michelle Brittain. How you going, Michelle?
I'm great, Dave.
It's been a busy period, hasn't it?
It has been. It's been so busy that you've lost your voice.
I have. I've got sickness from having children, number 1,336. So I reckon there's probably been about like 5 or 6 podcasts where I've had half a voice and I end up losing it by the end of it throughout these years.
Well, you're doing well.
But
I do enjoy the odd squeak coming from you.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Even when I talk too much on stage, I do go a bit squeaky, as you found out recently. We've been hanging out a bit together recently, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. I think we're going to start a few rumours with that.
No. We've been doing some fishing, and we've also been. You're now involved with Mully's Marine, which is obviously we're at Mully's Marine. I work for Mully's Marine, and you've come on board as an ambassador. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what's happening with that?
Yeah, I'm very, very lucky to be partnered with Mully's Marine and such a fantastic team to work with, like yourself and Reno here.
Mostly me, though.
Yes, of course. I do enjoy, obviously, your company and the donuts and the ice cream that comes along with it. So maybe that was a bit of a deal breaker there.
There is some vicious rumors that all we do here is eat food and basically just chill out. Absolutely incorrect. We do a solid at least 2 hours of work a day in amongst the food eating and all the carry on.
But, yes. Well, I have put on a few kilos since being here, and it's only been a couple of weeks.
You can't blame it on me.
No. The most exciting thing is I am getting a new vessel
very,
very soon.
Because you previously had your rib.
What shells?
Other brand that I probably can't mention. But you had a great run out of that. You did some really amazing stuff. And hopefully this boat, which maybe I'll let you tell the listeners a little bit about, and then I can fill in the gaps because you haven't actually got it yet.
No, not yet.
But it'll be coming very soon.
I've seen her stick it up.
Yep.
And I know that it's a 525 Prowler Haynes Hunter.
That's right. Yep.
But yes, hopefully next week I'll be able to jump in and show you all what it can do. But I'm stepping into fishing luxury. It's having so many things added to it as we speak. We're getting the sea deck flooring. It's got a boat catch on it, anchor winch, some underwater lights. It's got live bait tanks.
Yes.
Deck wash. It's got the works.
We've gone a little bit mad with it, hence probably partially the delay. But yeah, I think you covered most of the stuff there. Boat catch. Basically, all the add-ons you can get are going into this boat. So you should be able to showcase exactly what it's all about and get it out down there at the peninsula. You haven't driven it yet, but you did sort of stand in there and have a chat about it with a bunch of people coming through at the boat show.
Yeah,
how'd you feel the reactions were?
I had some really positive feedback actually, because a lot of people have actually owned one of these vessels before or have been in it, and they're really stoked to see what it can do and how lucky are we in Victoria with all the species that we can go out and target. So this vessel is going to be able to get me offshore with a Suzuki 115 on the back.
Yep.
And it's a 360, so it's a runabout. So I can go all around it and cast lures, and so it's good for everything. Very versatile. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Well, it's a bit of a crossover boat. Well, it is a hardcore fishing boat, but you can use it for a lot of different stuff because you're not just doing your fishing. You love your lifestyle boating as well. So
yes.
There's the free diving, the surfing.
Yeah.
So
it fits everything in it. So
I'm pretty keen to see how you go with that.
Yeah.
Now, so we did do the boat show together as my headphones fall off. And you helped us move some boats back and forth across the water.
That was the best part.
How'd you find that experience?
The Uber ride, not so great. But
we did a lot of Uber rides.
We did.
Went in a lot of white Camrys.
Yes.
And I think there was
Mohammed's.
Some Teslas as well.
Yep. No, it was such a great experience. I was able to jump into a couple of the vessels that were there. So the Haynes Hunter, what did I have? The 595 offshore.
Yes. So your first run, you did a 580 Sportfish.
Yeah, that was,
which I think was your favorite.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you did the 595, which is the bigger one.
Yep.
And then that's all you did, isn't it?
Well, yeah. So I did the Sportfish twice, I think.
Oh, yes.
Or maybe the 595 offshore. But the
run home
way back. Oh my gosh! So everyone complains about willy weather, and this is one time to complain because it was meant to be the quietest day for wind, and sure enough, it was like 60 kilometers. So
it was, yeah. I think it spiked up to like 60, 70 k an hour.
It was mental. So I'm glad I took the cat home.
Yes, you were in the Blue Cat with Reno. I wasn't that jealous because I had a canopy and clears, and you guys came back great. Absolutely drenched to the boat ramp. But
it was a little bit chilly in the end.
If you're going to test boats, then that's great conditions to do it.
Absolutely.
Even though we didn't really mean to do that.
Well, we survived.
It was
it was great fun.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
So yeah, boat show. How'd you feel it went overall? We had some pretty shocking weather. The weather either side of the boat show was quite good, but definitely the Friday was like torrential rain from memory.
Yes.
But reasonably warm.
Yeah, no, the weather was like, as you know, it was crazy, but it didn't stop people from coming down to the stand. We had some real contenders coming down and having a good look, and some fans of, Haynes Hunter, and they were enjoying what they saw. It was just great to be able to get people on the boat and checking them out as well. And I think that's a big thing, is they're able to feel them on the water. But I think we had about 40,000 people through the event, so it's not too bad considering the weather.
Well, I thought it was actually great to see the amount of wind against tide jumpers walking around.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
I know everyone's kind of comes to get their wind against tide jumper every year at the boat show, and we couldn't do it this year, but it was great to see everyone repping it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had a bit of a branding war with Tibby from Happy Fisherman, who actually works at our sister dealership, so we were on the same stand. So Tibby was shaking hands and kissing babies the whole weekend.
He was, wasn't he?
He was very busy.
Did he have his ukulele?
He didn't.
That must have let him down then.
But he did. He brought the ukulele to our live event we did here a little while ago. So that was quite the thrill for everyone involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the boat show, we had great numbers through. Great to catch up with old friends. I got stitched up to go on 3MP radio, I think it was, at one stage. They were supposed to have Jake the boss on, and he goes, "Oh no, Dave, they're waiting to talk to you." I went down there; they had no idea who I was.
But apparently, you were running the show because they had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, quite funny because he threw to me and then didn't have my mic on. I'm like, "Come on, mate." Even at wind against tide, we don't do that sort of action. So no, we did that, and cool to see a great range of boats. I must admit, I didn't really get around as much as I would have liked because obviously
we were selling them.
We were stuck on the stand. But fantastic weekend. We had some great food in the city.
Oh,
that
Brazilian meat place. I actually thought, oh gosh, is this going to be a bridesmaid moment where we're going to be shitting our pants down the street? But no, it was
Turns
the
out
best
that was
experience.
After the Indian.
And we couldn't turn the damn green light off because they just kept coming back going, no, you want more, you want more.
Yeah, it's basically a Squid Game style red light, green light thing going on there. But no, great food, a great time. If people are wondering where Joey is at the moment, well, you might have seen on our social media stories, he's over there in Bali. And there's a few people who have said to me, is Joe overseas again? I say, yes, he's perpetually on holiday, Joseph.
Living the life.
So kind of a family holiday he's on, but he went out today and he went GT popping. So have a look at our socials and have a look at that. He said it's not really the best time of year. They had one big GT follow a lure up and didn't get it, but the boat he was on looked pretty cool, like a big cabin thing with big Suzukis on the back. So he looks like he had a good day out with his old man. Our other sometimes co-host, Tom, is right in the midst of a move to Queensland. So he's moving up there to Gladstone. So he's going to become our Queensland correspondent once he's all up there and settled, and hopefully suss out some of the fishing hotspots because it's in a really good fishing location. And it's like
fun.
Just south of the Whitsundays. sort of thing. So he's got all these cool islands he can go and explore.
Awesome.
So yeah, we'll hear a bit from Tom once he's up there and settled. We'll do some phone calls, and that will give us a little bit more variety on the show, because we can get a little bit Victorian centric sometimes. But yeah, the fishing is hotted up.
It has.
Big time.
Is that because we're out there now? We
Yeah,
actually
we're
know
actually
about it.
we're actually going again. But I've been on a little bit of a land-based odyssey with good friend Captain Suraj, who's Lord of the Rocks.
He is.
And
the curry.
And Lord of the Curry, and we had a few very average trips to start off with, which is part of the game with land-based. But as is always the way, him and my brother and Jeremy went out without me and got a bunch of big ones. So I was like, I'm definitely coming the next trip. And you came along, Michelle.
I did. It was so awesome. What a wild experience. It's always good to try something different, and it blew my mind. Yeah, just the scenery, just the, having your friends there and sitting, kicking back and eating a curry and some red wine and catching fish.
Yeah, well, the curry, it's not your common fishing food, but when it's Suraj, you always make sure he brings it. And his latest addition was he had this little jet boiler thing that he brought, so he heated it all up on the rocks, and absolutely magnificent.
You feel well spoiled.
Yeah, you do. But no, the fishing was pretty much as good as you'll get it for land-based snappering. We cannot say the location, or he will perform Indian voodoo on us. But we were at Suraj's favorite place. It's a lovely scenic hike in there. Those who know it know it. We tried to hide the background a little bit. We didn't do any filming because it's quite obvious where it is once you know.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's not our spot to expose, and some places you just are best to be kept as they are. If people find where it is, good luck to them. But yeah, it's not our spot to give away. So we had a great time there with Suraj. How many snapper did we end up with in the end? It was a hot bite.
We had 7. Will dropped one.
Yeah, so it was me, you, Suraj, and my brother Will. And yeah, we got off to a cracking start. You got the first one.
Yes, of course.
They were, what do you mean, of course?
Well, I get, it's ladies first.
Yeah. Grabbing a photo up here of that one. There we go. Oh no, I'm having tech issues again. None of these connections are working, Captain Shell.
Oh dear.
That's all right. There we go. I've done it. There you go. There's a nice photo of the first one that you got. So they were all around that sort of 3.5 kilo range.
And beautiful colours too. That spring.
They were. And then same fish there. Then I jumped on board, obviously a smaller one than yours. And then we had a nice one take off on Suraj's rod, but he was actually too busy laughing his ass off, giggling. And I'm like, are you going to, I better go grab this because the fish is going to get bored and just leave. So I went and grabbed that one, and that was probably the best fish of the day, around about 4 kilo. Lovely dark red colours on it, and actually fought really well.
That was a nice male with a knobby nose.
Yeah, it's a different experience fighting him off the rocks. And there you go. We kept a nice feed between the 4 of us. So we kept the 6. I released one at the end. We got a nice whiting as well as bycatch. So happy days all around. There's me doing my best modelling efforts, Michelle.
Wow.
But yeah, no, a good time. A good time was had by all. So
no, it was fantastic. We had perfect weather as well. And hot tip for catching these ones was the fresh squid that we had.
Yeah.
So squid strips.
Squid strips supplied by Suraj. Yeah. Now, we didn't take your bait. You brought some bait with you.
I did. Oh, no.
Suraj laughed because he just wanted his Kraken-sized squid. He wouldn't bring your peninsula-sized squid.
Yeah. I thought mine was big, and then he pulled out his. I'm like, righto, mate.
It's not about the size of your squid. It's about how you wield it.
That's right.
So, yeah, we didn't end up using your squid, which I think made you forget about it until a few days later.
Yes, I left my bait bag in the back of the ute tray, and boy, did it smell delicious. I'm pretty sure people were sus on me when they were walking past the tray thinking, is there a dead body in there? What is going on?
Nothing smells worse than off squid, does it?
Far out. It is terrible.
It is the worst.
Yeah.
You think it would be
and I felt awful too because I don't like,
it's wastage.
obviously it's wastage. Yeah.
You still could have used it.
But the whole bag went in the bin. There was no
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
back
There's
from
no,
that.
no.
It's gone.
No, I've seen that in the past where people leave eskies out and they defrost and they just end up gaffer taping the esky up and sending it to the landfill.
Yeah, it's
There's
gone.
not much you can do about it. But no, that was a fantastic trip. Had an absolute ball. It's definitely a cool experience fishing from the rocks because we've been snapper fishing for that long now. It's all become, as much as we love it, it's so good to do something a little bit different. And that's kind of the challenge I set myself this season, was to do a little bit more of that. And like as we kept saying on the day, it didn't really matter whether we caught anything or not because we just had such a ball.
Yeah.
Great company, great walk into the spot, and you're just chilling out on some of the most scenic areas in the world. You went off like gem hunting and
I did.
and rock IDing.
My usual walkabout.
And in between that, we caught some really nice fish. Plenty of fishing been going on. Actually, I've got. It's been a while since we've podcasted, so I do have a few trips to catch up on. Took the kids out a little bit while ago too, and had a great session on the squid in Western Port. So the squid have definitely fired up.
Yeah.
And as always, great fun for the kids.
It took a while there though for Western Port squid to fire up.
It did. They're not too bad at the moment. They're pretty consistent, which is good. My favourite thing was you've given my little boy Sammy his own little fishing rod, which he absolutely loves. So he goes fishing around the house with that. And he said, we can take my fishing rod, Dad. So we took his fishing rod and you gave him a Worth squid jig as well.
Yes.
And we went out, and I actually went out like about half an hour before the kids because they had to get up from their nap. And I put Sammy's squid jig down and straight away caught some squid on it. And it was actually probably the best performing jig of the whole day. So
how good is that?
The Werfab jig actually is very good.
Yeah, so it's like a white glow and like a jade green or teal color.
Yep.
Werfab on it, and it's like magic.
Yep. I actually lost. We had a real big squid on, and the drag on the kids' rod probably wasn't smooth enough, and it was fully noodled over, and we pulled the hooks out, the jags out of the squid, so that was a bit upsetting. But great fun with the kids there. And since we've had a long weekend with the Melbourne Cup, so managed to get out for that. Did you get out over the weekend?
I surfed this weekend. I gave fishing a little bit of a rest.
Yep. The lifestyle component.
Yes, it's very tricky to balance that.
It would be.
Because both conditions sort of, if it's good for surfing, it's good for fishing.
100%.
But yeah, I felt like I had to get in the water this time.
Yep. No, beautiful. I got out. It was actually on Monday. We had Monday off here, as a lot of people did. So I went out on my lonesome for half the day and caught a few smaller snapper and a nice gummy shark. The wind blew its absolute ring out, which it wasn't supposed to. That's just normal. And then I actually picked up Joey and a mate Dion from the ramp, and we went out for an evening session. And I've actually had a torrid time of it with my snapper fishing. This year's been all right, but last year,